that later. I'd like to call our December meeting to order. Ms. Lockhart.
President George H.W. Bush, who died this past weekend, and also for former Albany County Legislator Ed Winders, who was a member of this body and also the minority leader way back in the 70s. So we could just have a moment of silence after the pledge.
If you all join us for a moment of silence after the pledge. Upon you, Patty, to lead us in the pledge.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Beston. Here. Bullock. Here. Bergdorf. Here. Chapman. Clay. Clinnahan. Here. Camiso. Kraus. Here. Cunningham. Here. Dawson. Here. Demolowitz. Here. Drake. Here. Ethier. Here. Feeney. Here. Fine. Here. Grimm. Here. Higgins. Here. Hogan. Here. Andrew Joyce. Here. Raymond Joyce. Here. Lukakis. Yes. Lockhart.
Here.
Murriello. Here. Mayo. Here. McKnight. McLean Lane. Here. Mendick. Here. Miller. Here. O'Brien. Here. Plosky. Here. Reinhardt. Here. Signorachi. Here. Simpson. Smith. Here. Stevens. Here. Touche. Here. Tunney. Here. Ward. Here. Willingham. 37 present.
I'd like to make note of the additional sponsors we have listed under the clerk. First item under previous business, please.
Resolution number 495, amending and updating the affirmative action policy for the County of Albany in order to strengthen the county's commitment to eliminating discrimination in the workplace.
Ms. McKnight, amendment for 495? Would you speak on it, please?
Speak on the amendment. I think you wanted to have a copy of the amendment that was prepared by our legal counsel. And show we made three corrections in accordance with the county executive law. And I think this is very few should have been made. I hope you accept it. And this affirmative action policy is something that we've been working on for, I guess, decades. But it's good to see that we've all come together and pulled together and come up with a sound policy on how we're going to be looking at issues for some employees and citizens of Albany County to go by. It's all understandable. It's put together with a lot of hard work. And I'm just so happy to see it on our desk tonight. And I hope that everyone accept the amendments and vote for the resolution 495. And I'm just so proud of all of us for the hard work we've done. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for recognizing us. And I ask everybody to please give a long roll call to have it documented on record that we supported Albany County government's affirmative action policy.
So you made a motion to amend?
Yes, amend.
And a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, long roll call on the amended version of resolution 495, please.
Beston.
In favor?
Bullock.
Yes.
Bergdorf.
Aye.
Chapman. Clinnahan.
Yes.
Camiso.
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
Dawson.
Yes.
Demolowitz.
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
Ethier.
Yes.
Feeney.
Yes.
Fine.
Here.
Grimm.
Yes.
Higgins.
Aye.
Hogan.
Yes.
Andrew Joyce.
Yes.
Raymond Joyce.
Yes.
Lukakis.
Yes.
Lockhart.
Yes.
Murriello.
Yes.
Mayo.
Yes.
McKnight.
Yes.
McLean Lane.
Yes.
Mendick,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Plotsky,
Yes.
Reinhardt,
Add me as a co-sponsor, then yes.
Signarachi,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Touche,
Yes.
Tunney,
Yes.
Ward,
Here.
Willingham,
Yes.
37.
Resolution 495 passes. Congratulations, Mr. McKnight. Good work. Resolution 519, please.
Resolution number 519, rescinding the transfer of 407 First Street in the city of Albany to the Albany County Land Bank per resolution number 272 for 2018 and authorizing the conveyance of real property in the city of Albany located at 407 First Street.
Please send that to the Law Committee. Resolution number 523, please.
Resolution number 523, directing the clerk of the Albany County Legislature to submit an official comment to the Department of Homeland Security condemning the proposed rule change to the definition of public charge that targets immigrant families who rely on health care, nutrition, and housing assistance programs.
Mr. Fines, my understanding that you wish to withdraw this item from tonight's agenda?
Yes,
Would you like to speak on it?
Speak on it, please. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, I'm going to withdraw this item. We were doing it as a proclamation. We decided it was best and most effective to do it as a proclamation. So we are passing this proclamation around for all legislators to sign, and I will pass it around once more. Some have already signed it. I want to thank all of the speakers who came out tonight, who spoke so passionately on this important issue. It's really damaging potentially what this rule will do to immigrants in our community. There's a lot of people who rely on supplemental services, and it's just, I just feel bad for any family that's going to be faced with the difficult decision of whether or not they have to drop health care or food for their family, or ensure that they can stay legally in this country. So, hopefully this is one piece of many people, hopefully thousands more people that will comment, and we hope that we'll be successful in getting this rule not to be enacted. Thank you.
Mr. Reiner.
Yes, I frankly was hoping that this resolution would be passed tonight. I understand some of the, I'll call them technical reasons why it's going to be handled as a proclamation. I too want to thank the wonderful speakers who came tonight and spoke very eloquently about what this really means. It's not just dry words on paper. There's a real meaning and there's a real harm that occurs if this public charge change happens. I would like to remind everybody in the body that this policy that's being changed has existed with Republican and Democratic presidents for many, many decades. What we're proposing here is, or what, not we, what President Trump and his administration are proposing is a fundamental change in how we are treating some of our immigrant population and their families, as was so carefully pointed out tonight. So I would hope that many of you will sign the proclamation who perhaps had not benefited from the comments that we heard tonight, so that we can have as strong a statement as possible coming out of this body. Thank you.
Resolution number 525, please.
Resolution number 525, public hearing on proposed local law number N for 2018.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Resolution number 526, please.
Public hearing on proposed local law number I for 2018.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Is that aye or C?
T. Sorry.
T as in tango, sorry.
T.
First item in current business, please.
Resolution number 528, authorizing a lease agreement for the rental of corporate suite number 21 at the Civic Center.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? 528 passes. 529, please.
Authorizing an agreement with the Albany Police Department regarding the Violent Offender Identification Directive.
Mr. Joyce? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? 529 passes. Number 530, please.
Authorizing an agreement with Ronco Specialized Systems regarding a nurse call system at the Albany County Nursing Home.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 530 passes. For 531, please.
Authorizing an agreement with BPI Mechanical Inc. regarding HVAC preventive maintenance and emergency services at various Albany County facilities.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 531 passes. For 532, please.
Authorizing an agreement with Eckert Mechanical Services regarding HVAC preventive maintenance and emergency services at various Albany County facilities.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 532 passes. For 533, please.
Authorizing an agreement with Capital Region Workforce Development Board to assume the role of one-stop systems operator and amending the 2018 adopted budget.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? For 533 passes. For 534, please.
Approving the Albany County Agricultural and Farmland Protection Plan.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 534 passes. For 535, please.
Public hearing on proposed modifications to Agricultural District Number 3.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 535 passes. For 536, please. Mr. Joyce.
Mr. Chair, we, the Health Committee made a motion and we grouped items 536 through 547 together with the Health Committee. They can be consolidated, they're all 100% state funded, pass-through through Oasis. So they can make a motion to group 536 to 547.
Motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
So we're going to group resolutions 536 through 547. All those,
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Drake?
could you note my abstention from 539 and 545, since we are grouping them?
We got it.
Thank you.
I need to abstain from 539 and I can
All those in favor of consolidating 539 through 547?
Aye.
Opposed? On resolutions 536 through 547, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolutions 536 through 547 pass. Resolution 548, please. Mr. Joyce.
Mr. Chairman, the Health Committee also managed to group items 548 through 557, they're all 100% state funding, pass-through to New York State Office of Mental Health. I'd like to make a motion to group 548 through 557.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Drake?
I'm doing the form, but Mr. Chairman, would you note my abstention to 551 and 554, since we are grouping?
Noted.
Thank you.
All those in favor of resolutions 548 through 557?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolutions 548 through 557 pass. Resolution 558, please.
Authorizing the acceptance of grant funding and an agreement with the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services regarding the 2018-2019 statewide interoperability communications grant program and amending the 2018 Sheriff's Office budget.
You can note my abstention. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 558 passes. 559, please.
Amending Resolution 101 for 2018 regarding inmate health care services.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 559 passes. For 560, please.
Authorizing the submission of a grant application and a contract with the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services regarding the 2017 Emergency Management Performance Grant and amending the 2018 Sheriff's Budget.
Denote my abstention on 560. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? 560 passes. For 561, please.
Authorizing the submission of a grant application to the United States Department of Justice Bureau of Justice Assistance regarding reimbursement for the incarceration of criminal aliens.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 561 passes. For 562, please.
Authorizing an agreement with the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services regarding the 2018 Hazardous Materials Emergency Preparedness Grant and amending the 2018 Sheriff's Office Budget.
Denote my abstention on 562. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 562 passes. For 563, please.
Rescinding Resolution 475 for 2018 and authorizing an agreement with Securus Technologies, Inc. regarding telephone services at the correctional facility.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 563 passes. For 564, please.
Amending the 2018 Sheriff's Office Budget, administrative adjustments.
Long roll call, please.
Beston. Bullock. Bergdorf. Chapman. Cunningham.
Yes.
Camiso. Kraus.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
Dawson.
Yes.
Demolowitz. Drake.
Yes.
Ether. Feeney.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes.
Grimm.
Yes.
Higgins. Hogan.
Yes.
Andrew Joyce.
Yes.
Raymond Joyce.
Yes.
Lakakis.
Yes.
Lockhart.
Yes.
Murriello.
Yes.
Mayo.
Yes.
McKnight.
Yes.
McLean Lane.
Yes.
Mendick.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Plosky.
Yes.
Reinhardt.
Yes.
Signarachi.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Stevens.
Yes.
Touche.
Yes.
Tunney.
Yes.
Ward.
Yes.
Willingham.
Yes.
Unanimous.
564 passes. For 565, please.
Public hearing on amending the 2019-2023 capital program.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 565 passes. For 566, please. We got about 7 long roll calls on a row, just so you know. 566, please.
Bond resolution of the County of Albany, New York, authorizing the construction of new public safety radio communications towers as part of the full system upgrade of an Albany County-wide 800 megahertz communication system for police, fire, EMS, and related public safety systems, stating the estimated maximum cost thereof is $1,043,917, appropriating said amount therefore and authorizing the issuance of $1,043,917 of serial bonds of said county to finance said appropriations.
Long roll call, please.
Beston. Bullock.
Yes.
Bergdorf.
Aye.
Chapman. Cunningham.
Yes.
Camiso. Kraus.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
Dawson.
Yes.
Demolowitz. Drake.
Yes.
Ether. Feeney.
Yes.
Fine. Grimm.
Yes.
Higgins. Hogan.
Yes.
Andrew Joyce.
Yes.
Raymond Joyce.
Yes.
Lakakis.
Yes.
Lockhart.
Yes.
Murriello.
Yes.
Mayo.
Yes.
McKnight. McLean Lane.
Yes.
Mendick.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Plosty. Reinhardt. Signarachi. Smith. Stevens. Touche. Tunney. Award. Willingham. Unanimous.
566 passes. 567, please.
Amending the 2018 Department of Residential Health Care Facilities budget. Administrative adjustments.
Long roll call, Mr. Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The budget amendments, the required long roll call for budget amendments are a product of this legislature. And if they so choose, they can relax the rules and go by voice vote if they wish. So if anybody's interested in that, we can make a motion in a second to relax the rules for Resolution 567, 568, and 572, which I believe are all subject under our own rules to a long roll call vote. Bond resolution would require a long roll call vote in all occasions. So moved.
We have a motion, there's a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Okay. So we're going to consolidate. So we'll do a voice vote on, just so we're tracking here, 567, 568, 572. 78 or 72? So on resolution 567, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes?
Amending the 2018 Department of Children, Youth, and Families budget, administrative adjustments.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? 568 passes. Number 569, please.
Bond resolution of the County of Albany, New York, authorizing the undertaking of various capital projects for the Times Union Center and Times Union Center parking garage, stating the estimated maximum cost thereof is $3,272,000, appropriating said amount therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $3,272,000 of serial bonds of said county to finance said appropriation.
All those in favor?
No.
Bond resolution.
As you were, long roll call. These are
Beston.
Don't make it easy.
Bullock. Bergdorf.
Aye.
Chapman. Cunningham. Camiso. Kraus.
Yes.
Cunningham. Dawson. Demolowitz. Drake. Ethier. Feeney. Fine. Grimm. Higgins. Hogan. Andrew Joyce.
Yes.
Raymond Joyce. Lakakis. Lockhart.
Yes.
Murriello. Mayo. McKnight. McLean Lane.
Yes.
Mendick. Miller. O'Brien. Plosky. Reinhardt. Signarachi. Smith. Stevens. Touche. Tunney. Ward. Willingham. Unanimous.
569 passes. 570, please.
Bond resolution of the County of Albany, New York, authorizing various capital improvements for county facilities, stating the estimated maximum cost thereof is $8,475,000, appropriating said amount therefore and authorizing the issuance of $8,475,000 of serial bonds of said county to finance said appropriation.
Long roll call, please.
Beston. Bullock. Bergdorf.
Aye.
Chapman. Cunningham. Camiso. Kraus.
Yes.
Cunningham. Dawson. Demolowitz. Drake. Ethier. Feeney. Fine. Grimm. Higgins. Hogan. Andrew Joyce.
Yes.
Raymond Joyce. Lakakis. Lockhart.
Yes.
Murriello. Mayo. McKnight. McLean Lane. Mendick. Miller. O'Brien. Plosky. Reinhardt. Signarachi. Smith. Stevens. Touche. Tunney. Ward. Willingham. Unanimous.
570 passes. 571, please.
Bond resolution of the County of Albany, New York, authorizing various capital improvements for the Department of Public Works, stating the estimated maximum cost thereof is $9,107,000, appropriating said amount therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $9,107,000 of serial bonds of said county to finance said appropriation.
Long roll call, please.
Beston. Bullock. Bergdorf. Chapman. Cunningham. Camiso. Kraus.
Yes.
Cunningham. Dawson. Demolowitz. Drake. Ethier. Feeney. Fine. Graham. Higgins. Hogan. Andrew Joyce.
Yes.
Raymond Joyce. Lakakis.
Yes.
Lockhart.
Yes.
Murriello. Mayo. McKnight.
Yes.
McLean Lane.
Yes.
Mendick. Miller. O'Brien.
Yes.
Plosky.
Yes.
Reinhardt. Signarachi. Smith. Stevens. Touche. Tunney. Ward. Willingham. Unanimous.
571 passes. For 572, please.
Amending the 2018 budget for the Department of Management and Budget, administrative adjustments.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 572 passes, and I really appreciate your patience during that process. Number 573, please.
Designating the Albany County Convention and Visitors Bureau, Inc. as Albany County Tourism Promotion Agency to receive tourism, advertising, and promotion grants.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 573 passes. For 574, please.
Authorizing the conveyance of 12 Schoolhouse Lane located in the town of Bethlehem.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 574 passes. For 575, please.
Authorizing the conveyance of 142 Main Street located in the city of Cohoes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 575 passes. For 576, please.
Rescinding the transfer of 945 River Road to the Albany County Land Bank per resolution number 317 of 2018 and authorizing the conveyance of real property in the town of Bethlehem located at 945 River Road.
All those in favor? Opposed? 576 passes. For 577, please.
Authorizing corrections of the tax rolls for the town of Bethlehem.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 577 passes. For 578, please.
Authorizing the refund of real property taxes in the town of Colony.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 578 passes. For 579, please.
Adoption of Albany County budget for fiscal year 2019.
Mr. Fine.
Chairman, I have two amendments. I put them on everyone's desk. Speak on them. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, first, I want to thank everyone who worked hard on the budget. I know it's a hard process. I want to thank the Audit and Finance Committee. When I look at the legislative adjustments that we have right here, I see we have about a $7.3 million decrease in spending based on comparison to the county executive's proposed budget, and a $5.9 million increase. So that means we have about $1.4 million freed up money that would right now go towards the tax levy, towards I guess it would be probably about an $8-10 reduction in property taxes when compared to the average compared to the county executive's budget. I'm not saying a tax cut is bad, but I think when we have $1.4 million which is freed up, it's a real opportunity where we can prepare for our future, where we can help our most needy residents, those who are not benefiting from this strong economy. We know that many are not. So one amendment here is an amendment that would restore funding for a re-entry program which is run by Trinity Alliance of the Capital Region. It helps inmates transition to life outside jail. They work both with inmates in the jail and after their release. It's a program that's been nationally recognized. The program features the Thinking for Change program that's nationally recognized. This is a program that has been funded in past budgets at $46,500. It was not included in this year's budget, so this amendment would put that funding in this year's budget so that program can continue. Now, Trinity Alliance has been running this program on a shoestring budget. They only have one employee. They recently got a grant from DCJS, and they were looking forward to hiring an additional employee so they could have one employee work inside the jail and one outside the jail. If this funding is not restored, unfortunately, they will not be able to hire that additional employee because they will have to use the DCJS funding to cover their existing employee. Now, the other amendment is an amendment to provide increased funding for the Albany County Land Bank from $250,000 to $500,000. I know years ago we did give $500,000 for numerous years to the county land bank. I believe the land bank is one of the most vital county programs that we have. It's working to solve one of our biggest issues in the county. We have over 1,000 vacant and abandoned buildings. Additional funding, they're on a tight budget. Additional funding will give them more money for their maintenance costs. It'll give them the ability to pursue more of the innovative programs they're doing around affordable home ownership, such as the equitable home ownership program. I think we're all proud residents of Albany County. We should all want a county that we're proud to showcase to the rest of the state and the rest of the country. I think I don't think we should accept the fact that steps from this courthouse where we meet right now, we have neighborhoods with hundreds, over 1,000 vacant and abandoned buildings. This is an issue that we can fix. We have a great organization which we created before I was elected. I thank the people who created this Albany County Land Bank organization. But let's give it the resources it needs to truly address this issue. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, on the amendment, I just said a couple. I have certainly no objection to either one of these fine organizations. We have supported them in the past, but it becomes very difficult after we've all kind of digested what the budget process is. And it looks to me, and I just had a brief conversation with Mr. Fine, that he wanted to increase the appropriations and affect the tax revenue that most of us have agreed upon in order to facilitate these programs. When in fact, I think, it might be a good idea to amend the budget after we get going a little ways where we can digest and actually look into what these two key programs do, maybe go through the committee structure. And I think that would make more sense to me and see if we were interested as a body in increasing the funding for these programs. But to do it now after I've already been set on a budget, and on a tax levy or on what the tax levy would be, I think it would be difficult for me to do at this time.
Mr. Ethier.
I tend to agree with my colleague, but I'd just like to ask Sam, why was this put back in the budget to begin with? Why did you take it out?
The jail transition program?
The transition program.
I'm not sure the exact reasons. I know it was not proposed in the sheriff's budget, but I think it's an important program.
These are facts we probably could have gleaned throughout the budget review process that we've had. Not tonight, but
I think it's never too late to make amendments. Appreciate your comments.
Sam, is that a job that one person has?
That fund, I'm not sure if that entire $46,500 goes towards the salary. I believe it covers the employee. I'm not sure. A portion of that goes to some other costs. Yeah.
I'm just concerned why they put it back in the budget. Thanks, sir.
Mr. Grimm.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I wonder if the sponsor would yield to a couple of questions.
Sure.
Mr. Klein, as you know, the Finance Committee conducted an exhaustive and thorough review of the budget. We met 9 separate times. We put countless hours into study. There was a robust debate over a number of items that people wanted to put in. And in fact, the taxpayers lost a little ground over the last subsequent 2 meetings. Could you explain why these 2 items weren't put in the beginning of that process with every other spending item?
Well, I can say I'm not a member of the Audit and Finance Committee. I did attend some of those meetings, but I do want to say When it comes to this budget, so right now it's about $1.4 million that would be going back to the taxpayer compared to the county executive's budget. So this would bring it down to about $1.1 million that would still be going back to the taxpayers. And so I understand you've gone through the process, people have their minds set on this budget, but this is only two minor changes funding one program that already exists and another program that also, the land bank, that also already exists and we all know very well.
I'd like to resume my time, Mr. First of all, Mr. Chairman, the increased tax levy is $200,000 this year. So this is not a small piece of change. $250,000 and a subsequent 46.5. This is real money. And I believe this discussion should have been hashed out in the Finance Committee. You know, actually the taxpayers lost a little ground with the last two, but that's okay because we're 39 members and we all come from a different place. But we had the opportunity to have that robust debate in the Finance Committee. And I want to applaud, by the way, Chairman Dawson for his leadership throughout the entire process and for staff that worked very hard on these issues. And now for these to be submitted at the last minute, I don't think it's inappropriate, and for that reason I think they should be voted down tonight. Thank you.
Mr. Bergdorf?
Mr. Chairman, I was just going to say that I agree completely with Legislator Ward. I think that, you know, there was a process that we all went through, and that any adjustment to the budget at this time should really go through a process as well. And there may be appropriate time as the year goes on, but I don't think that I can support any amendments to the budget at this point in time on the night where it's supposed to be adopted.
Mr. Mullins.
Well, this is the process. Just because you don't come to the Finance Committee, a program or something that happens within this budget, not everyone has a voice in the Finance Committee, not everybody has a vote in the Finance Committee. Here they do. Here's where taxpayers of Mr. Fine's district sends him. If he sees something wrong with his budget, that he speaks out about it, offers amendments to it. That's what all 39 of us do. That's what this budget's all about. It's not about just one committee making decisions for everybody in this room. Everybody here has their own mind, what their own interests are. And so I certainly don't agree with Mr. Fine as far as, I'm sorry, I just almost say Mr. Bergdorf that this isn't appropriate. It's very much appropriate. I can remember many times in many budgets where we had many amendments on the floor, usually from the Republican side. So to say that it's inappropriate, I just don't buy it. I would just have one suggestion for where you're taking the money from. You have $200,000 in miscellaneous contract expenses. You right away. Never funded before. Not designated. If I were you, I was doing this, I would take $146,000 out of that line, and then the other $150,000 out of the line, give them $150,000. The budget stays neutral for monies that haven't even been appropriated. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Ethier.
You know, as Mr. Good, that finance transition, is there any discussion about that? Those being taken out?
No, this is the first time I've seen these amendments. And there are a lot of people that have, you know, who are representative constituents that have a lot of interest in both spending and taxpayer relief. And we had some really strong debates over these last few weeks, and we ultimately came together and voted unanimously on the budget. So these items are new to me tonight when they were submitted.
But nobody intentionally wanted to take this out and keep it in.
This is the first I've heard of this.
Charlie, you know anything about that?
We'll get to Mr. Dawson. Mr. Dawson raised his hand. He'll be recognized.
Thank you.
First, Mr. Kraus. He was first.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to applaud Mr. Fine's effort here. I understand he has a passion here, and I respect that. I do, however, agree with Mr. Ward. I think that having this come up at a later date would certainly give all of us a greater opportunity of gathering some additional information, which I think most of us probably don't have regarding this program. I think that would probably give Mr. Fine a stronger argument as well at that point in time. So I would encourage Mr. Fine, if he would be willing to perhaps withdraw this and take it up at a later date when additional information could be provided to the entire body, and then we could make a decision based upon that information. Thank you, Mr.
Mr. Fine, did you hear that? Mr. Kraus,
I
would you
said
like
some good things about you, Sam.
Do you agree or disagree?
Basically, in a nutshell, I think, I certainly don't object to you bringing this to the floor, but I do agree with Mr. Ward that perhaps at a later date, when this body has had the benefit of hearing some additional information that would either support your argument or give us an opportunity to review it at least, would perhaps be a better course of action to follow. So I would recommend that you consider withdrawing this at this time and then providing us with additional information as it works its way through the committee process. Certainly it's up to you.
Mr. Chairman, I do think, I am especially concerned about the funding for the jail transition program, as that's a program that's run by a nonprofit that's, as we're doing our budget right now, I'm sure they're doing their budget, trying to figure out if they're going to be able to run the program and how they're going to be able to run it, if they're going to be able to hire some additional workers. And so I think it's important that that is voted on.
Well, you've advocated for that. Mr. Bullock has advocated for that. Ms. Lakakis has advocated for that. I am now advocating for it. Since it wasn't part of the budget negotiation or the budget agreement that we reached in coordination and good faith with the county executive, I suggested a potential option would be legislative contingency 2018 or 2019, since it hadn't been part of the issue. But this is another way to go about it as well. Mr. Dawson.
I was just going to ask Sam if he realized that the state attorney general was going to be giving us over $1 million to the land bank.
I am aware of that.
Okay, thanks.
Very happy.
Mr. Signoraci.
Chairman, on your point, I would be more than happy to help Mr. Fine if he moves these into committee or withdraws them, or if your say move them into committee. We go through the committee process. You can add my name on to the program, and also, as I was trying to discuss with Mr. Fine, as opposed to the money for the land bank, even though I am a supporter, one of the things that we should probably look at is to make sure that the county has money for its properties, so that prior to the land bank taking over, that we have maintenance for the county side, so that the buildings, when we transfer, are not that far gone, and we can do some sort of stabilization fund in the transition from the county ownership to the time that this honorable body transfers them to the land bank by the time that they close. So we should wind up looking at what funding that we have in the budget, because I believe that that was a $250,000 line item that we've had in years past that is no longer there, that we should wind up looking on the county and do stabilization. I'm more than willing, if these go to committee, to wind up working with Legislator Fine to help get them out in some other shape, way, or fashion.
Thank you, Mr. Signoraci. I'd like to move forward with these tonight. We can always look at it later. If they don't go through, consider the next steps. But I've already proposed them. They're on the floor. I say, let's vote on it, and we'll see how it goes.
Ms. Plowski.
Just wanted to say a brief sentence here that the Sheriff Apple has done an excellent job for us and for our citizens in the jail transition program. And money well spent. We should absolutely return from that investment.
Mr. Reinhardt.
My one concern about the not moving forward right now with the jail transition program is the comment that Sam made about the timing issue, or that, they're working on their budget now, we're working on our budget now. If we delay this, does that impact their ability to plan correctly for the next year? I'm less concerned about the land bank, just because of what Charlie said about the money coming from, I think it's Charlie, from the state. And I feel very comfortable that everyone here is committed to the land bank, so if there needs to be made an adjustment in the future, that would probably happen. But I am worried about the jail transition program in terms of the timing question. If we don't act tonight on it, does that mean we're going to really be putting them in a bind in terms of their plans?
Mr. Drake.
Thank you. Just want to make a quick comment about the land bank, Mr. Fine. This is sort of last minute thing, echoing Mr. Sigurati's comments with respect to what I call consider off-street preventative maintenance and some of those costs there. And I just want to point out that this, this wasn't brought in front of Legislator Chapman and I as part of the real estate task force or anything like that. We've been working very closely on policy and changes related to this. So, I, for one, as co-chair, will not support this because we really haven't had the opportunity to debate this in the context of some of the greater changes that are being made. I just want to make that comment.
Okay. I understand. I'm not part of that task force, so I didn't have the ability to.
Right, but what I mean is you didn't contact us about it either. There's other things going on with this, and I think that we can't just delay it out. But thank you for the effort.
I respectfully disagree.
Mr. Eager?
Does she share in this program, or is it against the program?
I've spoken with the sheriff. He says he will run the program. He will spend the money if we put the money in the budget.
So he has to.
I don't know if he's in favor or against, or if he likes it, if he doesn't. What I know is that the sheriff has said that if we put the money in there, then the program's good to go.
My concern is why we're taking it out. You can't say help. The sheriff doesn't want it in there, and why the sheriff keep it in the sheriff?
Yeah, I'm not really sure why it's big.
So it might be just everybody's advantage. Well, which one? I think we should hold up. Because generally, all the years I've been here, saying, if the sheriff requests something, the sheriff gets it.
Ms. Lockhart.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to echo what Bill just said. When the sheriff asks him something, he usually does get it. I am familiar with this program too, but I just think it would be better if we looked at it at a different time and not at this time. I personally would have questions for the sheriff on why he did not include it in the budget. He's very hands-on with a lot of the programs out there. Maybe he has different ideas on how things should be working. A lot of unanswered questions. And I think right now that we should put it aside and get some answers to that. And also to the land bank question. They are going to be getting a lot of money from the state yet. So at this late date, I agree with Mr. Ward that we should put it aside and go through the committee process to get some answers to our questions. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Joyce? Did you?
It's hard to, I want to do the right thing. It's kind of hard to do. Many times, the format we use is you're supposed to clearly indicate the line we're going to decrease the funding from. I think we already raised that issue. But aside from that, I'm just going to ask that if we do vote on these tonight, if we can do them individually.
They are, yes.
Are they?
I purposely put them on a separate amendment so we could do them individually.
Okay.
But I would like to respond to that.
Same resolution. Okay.
Are you all set, Mr. Joyce?
I'm all set.
Mr. McLean-Lane?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I think that this is, I know the Trinity Alliance well, and I think they're a fantastic organization. The land bank, it's been an important tool for our county I've seen some of the improvements they've made already. It really is an impressive organization. And my concern is this gets voted on tonight, then it's over. I don't want to see sort of the baby get thrown out with that water. I'm just hoping maybe that we can try to just hold off on this. We do have another meeting this week. We also, could try to, come to all out agreement on this, because I do think these are very valid. amendments. I just, I don't know where it's coming from. I don't, but, you know, obviously it's up to you. I respect the board, and I also do, echo exactly what Gary said. This is the process. You know, it is the process. So, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Willingham.
Part of my concern with this is that we were 579 is the adoption of budget. And these two amendments are voted on separately. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then as far as where the, it says increase appropriation account, it's two separate accounts. I'm not comfortable trying to figure out what these accounts are right now. We have gone through a very exhaustive budget process here. I'm not saying that this is not part of it, the vote. The vote is part of it. But the vote comes after all of the work that has been done. There were, I saw many of our legislators who are not on the Audit and Finance Committee come to those meetings and have the opportunity to speak. And rather than say where I'm standing on these right now, what I am afraid of was in certain caucuses we came to an agreement that there would be support on at least one of them, but where the money was coming from had already been decided on, or where we would support it coming from. So tonight, what I'm afraid of is this being voted down and losing total support if we vote on it tonight, because people do want more information. We already know why the sheriff didn't include it, some of us, in his budget, okay? So rather than to go through all of that and spend all of this time on the floor, I think everybody deserves an opportunity, but not tonight, to get all of their answers, the answers to the questions that they may have on this. At the same time, it's not that we don't want to support. Some of us may want to support one, some may not want to support the other. But right now, as far as the process is concerned, I think we do our constituents a disservice to try to do this now, tonight. We spent hours on that budget. Tonight is not the time to, especially because you do have some people who are in favor of one or the other, okay, to support this. But we know that the legislature has other means to pass this through, maybe at a different time and under different, accounts. So I would stand and say right now, I'm not voting in favor of either one of these because because of the process that we have gone through, and I think people deserve an opportunity to just spend a little bit more time on these accounts to see what we're going to do.
Call the question.
Question's been called. Seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
What are we voting on? Are we voting on the amendment?
These are for the amendments. There's going to be two separate.
Putting it on the floor. Yeah.
So, I'll explain. Procedurally, we have to take both of these amendments separately. So we'll vote both of them separately. We will call the amendment regarding the Sheriff's Office Amendment 1 and handle that first. Mr. Ward.
Mr. Joyce, I mentioned, Mr. Ray Joyce mentioned that we're supposed to have a decrease in an appropriate account, and it's still, I believe this resolution is out of order without showing a balanced budget. It's a procedural.
Once to spend money, I don't think it needs to have an offsetting. It's a new.
I think we should have a vote, Mr. Ward, respectfully.
That's fine.
Mr. Chairman, I would just say before we call the question that those of us who haven't had the opportunity to speak on this have that opportunity and then call the question.
Okay.
But I can understand not going back to the same old draw, but if there's members here who haven't spoken.
If there's someone who hasn't spoken on either one of these amendments, they will speak, but we're not gonna do this back and forth, okay?
Right.
Ms. Cunningham.
First, I just want to commend Sam for taking this initiative, and I think these are two great initiatives to add dollars to. So I don't think that this is inappropriate or out of bounds on any level. This is our job, that if we look at a budget and then decide we have a great idea and want to propose a change, I think it's not just perfectly appropriate, but it's part of the job description. So I would say, way to go, Sam. I totally support the initiative in doing that. I'm actually surprised there aren't others that have done that. I have a couple concerns though, and they're mostly policy-based concerns. I think the land bank, I'd like to have a broader discussion about how those dollars would be used. It's a sizable sum. And on the jail transition program, I'd love to be able to vote for this. It's only $46,000, so I mean, it's quite honestly a rounding error in the multi-hundred-million-dollar county budget. It sounds like there's a commitment from the leadership here to figure out some sort of discretionary pool to fund it. But I would like to know if the Trinity Alliance has done a good job, what's their track record, and perhaps, we could look at funding this throughout the year. And I think it sounds like there's an awful lot of support for doing that. So I would recommend that we certainly revisit this and possibly ask the sheriff. We don't have to have a lengthy discussion with him, but ask the sheriff about his thoughts related to this. So I won't be supporting these, even though I think they're terrific ideas. I'd just like to have a little bit broader of a discussion.
Call the question, please.
Question's been called again. So on Amendment 1. Okay, Amendment 1 is the amending the Albany County budget for fiscal year 2019 Sheriff's Office Jail Transition Program. Long roll call on Amendment 1 to Resolution 579.
Beston.
Not in favor.
Bullock.
Yes.
Bergdorf.
Vote no on the amendment.
Chapman.
No.
Cunningham.
No.
Camiso. Kraus.
No.
Cunningham.
No.
Dawson.
No.
Demolowitz.
Yes.
Drake.
No.
Ethier.
Mr. Chairman, explain my vote. Sam, I can't support this at this time because of things behind it. But I do hope you bring it back, there would be more information on it, and I'd be more open-minded at that time.
Ditto.
Feeney.
No.
Fine.
Yes.
Grimm.
No.
Higgins.
Aye.
Hogan.
No.
Andrew. Joyce.
No.
Raymond Joyce.
No.
Lakakis.
Yes.
Lockhart.
No.
Murriello.
No.
Mayo.
No.
McKnight.
No.
McLean Lane.
I'd like to echo the sentiments of my colleague, Mr. Ethier. I do hope that he does bring this back, not this time, unfortunately. I'm sorry, sir.
Mendick.
No.
Miller.
I'd like to explain my vote. I agree with Mr. Ethier. I'm going to vote in the negative on it, but I feel it should come back to the committee process, and if it's supported by the sheriff's office, then we should consider funding it.
O'Brien.
No.
Plotsky.
Yes.
Reinhardt.
Yes now and probably yes later.
Yes.
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 Signarachi. Smith.
No.
Stevens.
No.
Touche.
No.
Tunney.
No.
Ward.
No.
Willingham. 30 no, 7 yes. Fails. 30 no, 7 yes.
Amendment 1 to resolution number 79 fails. Amendment 2. Sam, would you like to move on amendment 2?
Let's do it.
Long roll call on amendment 2 to resolution 579. please.
Beston. Bullock. Bergdorf.
No.
Chapman. Clenahan. Camiso. Kraus.
No.
Cunningham. Dawson. Demolowitz.
Yes.
Drake.
No.
Ethier. Feeney.
No.
Fine.
Yes.
Grimm.
No.
Higgins.
Yes.
Hogan.
No.
Andrew Joyce.
No.
Raymond Joyce. Lakakis.
Yes.
Lockhart.
No.
Murriello.
No.
Mayo. McKnight. McLean Lane. Mendick. Miller. O'Brien.
No.
Plotsky.
Yes.
Reinhardt.
No, but maybe yes later.
Signarachi.
No.
Smith.
No.
Stevens.
No.
Touche.
No.
Tunney.
No.
Ward. Willingham. 6 yes. 31 no.
Amendment 2 to resolution 579 fails. Okay, now we're on to the main budget. Does anyone have anything to speak on before we adopt the amendment? Mr. Clenahan.
Just two very brief questions, so I'm clear. In terms of the sales tax revenue, how much more are we projecting versus what the county executive projected?
Stand by.
Well, that's my next one here. The jail revenue that's mentioned, the 1.6 million, is that gross or net?
You wouldn't know what that is. No overtime, nothing, no food, nothing.
The increase to the sales tax revenue is an agreed to figure between the county exec's office and the legislature.
But what's the number? From the governor, excuse me, county executive's initial.
It's a little over $700,000. If you look at the summary of changes, the 2019 executive budget should be a sheet on your desk. As you were, you don't have that. But $762,923.
Okay, thank you. And
Did
the
another
jail-
question?
Yes, and the jail revenue, is that gross or net? 1.6 over.
Okay, where are you seeing 1.6? Because the detainee revenue we're factoring is 941,018.
This letter here. 2018. Pay revenue not projected to be at least 1.6 million above.
Say again, I didn't hear you.
Detainee revenue is not projected to be at least 1.6 million above. In the letter.
What specifically is your question, Mr. Clenahan?
The 1.6, is that gross or net?
Gross. Above what was budgeted 1 year ago for 2018.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments on the 2019 budget? Mr. Ward.
Mr. Joyce, think it'd be very appropriate to thank the chairman of the Audit and Finance Committee and the members for their time and effort, as well as our staff. They've done a great job, and I always say that every year you could have 39 different opinions on how the budget should go. But I think this year, there was a lot of opinions all the way through the process. In the end, I'm very hopeful that we have an opinion that we can all agree on. But I do want to commend the staff and the committee for their hard work, and the legislature and the leadership for listening to each other and coming up with a proposal that's great for the taxpayers of all the time. Thank you.
Mr. Reinhardt?
All I want to say is I agree with what Sean just said. I was not as close to this process, obviously, as many of you were. But I think Charlie and the team did a wonderful job. And also I would like to compliment the other side of the aisle for all the effort that Mark and the rest of the crew put in there. I think it's been a very good process. Obviously, I don't agree with every decision that was made. I voted for a couple of amendments, even an hour later. But I think it was an admirable job and a great effort by everyone involved.
Mr. Grimm?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do want to pay tribute to Chairman Dawson. He's worked with me cooperatively, and we're on different sides of the aisle. We tried to work together and try to make sure that everyone was heard. That's why I was a little frustrated earlier. Sure, certainly any member can offer an amendment. The issue is, it could have been brought to the committee where we hashed this out, because we hashed out 100 items, and everybody felt strongly about every one of them. And then we finally came to an agreement. Now, the taxpayers, I'm going to support the budget because it cuts the county tax rate for the 6th year in a row. And that's important to me because it's important to my constituents. And we could have done more for taxpayers, but we lost some ground during the committee process, but that's okay, because everybody had a say in the end, then we voted. And that's how we got to this point. And we've had a big year. Sales tax is really doing well. And we also, we have millions of dollars in revenue from the borders of the jail. That was something that was unusual, and that really, those two factors are why we're in a good financial situation that we're in right now. There are some warning signs. The county employment is up for the 5th year in a row. That's something we're going to have to watch in the coming year. One of the things I'm excited about in the coming year is the modernization plan. People are going to have much more access, easy access to what we're doing, including the county budget. So that's one of the things I'm really excited about. But in the end, we are fixing up the nursing home to the tune of $70 or $80 million. The people who live there are going to have a better quality of life, and the people that work there are going to have a better quality of life. That's making a difference in the end. We're renovating the Time Sheet Center. We're going to add 25 years to the life of that building, and it's also going to go nicely with the Capitol Center, although, of course, that's an issue, our negotiation with the state authorities. So that's another accomplishment. And in the end, we're meeting a lot of needs in this budget for people who have no other place to go. So in the end, I think we've got a fiscally sound budget, which has, we're increasing the reserve fund, we're cutting the tax rate. All in all, I think we've done a pretty good job. Thank you.
Yes, I just want to say one thing to my Republican colleagues. After 39 years, I'm very glad you came along.
Keep up the taxes, we'll be wrong, my friend.
But all kidding aside, I want to commend everybody for doing an excellent job. And thank you.
May I go? I'd like to say something. We received the county executive's budget proposal for 2019 on October 10th. From the moment it hit our desks and from every moment thereafter, our objective has been simple and consistent. Identify areas of potential savings so legislators can suggest changes to the executive's proposal that better meet the needs of the people we serve. We accomplished this by holding 7 budget hearings at which we delved deeply into the programmatic and financial aspects of departmental operations. These hearings, many of which were held jointly by the Audit and Finance Committee and other standing committees, gave legislators an unprecedented opportunity to actively participate in the budget-making process. When combined with our analysis of the county executive's proposal, we put forth a host of options that yield $4.3 million in potential savings. As we briefed legislators, the county executive and his staff, other county leaders and advocates, we listened carefully to their opinion of these opinions and these options. After gathering substantial feedback and entering into good faith negotiations with the county executive and his staff, we arrived at where we are this evening. A negotiated budget agreement for 2019 that provides funding for continued delivery of vital services, investments in our infrastructure, and a very modest increase in the real property tax levy above what was set in 2018. As an operating plan for governing, no budget can be perfect. Some may find fault with parts of it, but when you add it all up, I believe it is a responsible budget and put together carefully. As such, I hope you will join me in supporting it this evening. I would like to thank the many people for their tireless effort in helping us get to this point. The members of the Audit and Finance Committee, led by its chair, Charlie Dawson, devoted dozens of hours to understanding the county executive's proposal and working collaboratively to find ways of improving it. And our part-time budget director / chief of staff, Tim Manicia, has spent a lot of time on this as well. We definitely bolstered Charlie's efforts and the Audit and Finance Committee's efforts in working with solutions. The other members of the legislature asked thoughtful questions and came up with suggestions on how to make this budget better. The legislative staff supported the members in a host of ways. For their extraordinary effort, I am eternally grateful. The county executive and his staff were generous in sharing their time and insight throughout the process, and they negotiated an agreement in good faith, and for that I thank them. Many members of our community took the time to review the budget and share their views. We heard them and incorporated many of those thoughts into this budget. We thank them for that as well. Let me say again, I think this budget is a good one and worthy of support from all legislators. I hope you will vote aye when your name is called. And even though we did vote down these two amendments tonight, I think it's safe to say that many of us in this body, if not all of us, support a jail diversion project if Trinity comes back to us with a new plan towards that program. And we all support the land bank as well. And Sam, when you came forth with those ideas last week in writing to members of the caucus, it just blew me away. These are great ideas. And as you know, my only issue with it is when we got them in terms of the process. How old are you, by the way?
28.
28. I wish I had a fraction of your smarts when I was 28 years old. It was just, they're great. They're brilliant. And I just wish we had gotten them sooner so we could incorporate them. But I will commit tonight, as I've committed already, that we're going to look at ways to restore funding to the jail diversion project and look at ways to supporting the land bank as well moving forward. So even though we voted these two amendments down, I think we're all going to work together to find ways to support these two important initiatives, in addition to the other initiatives that you brought forward. So good work.
I look forward to continuing that discussion.
We're going to vote, Mr. Drake. Do you have a question?
I want to say something.
What?
I want to say something. Are you closed? Okay. Excellent work. I wanted to just piggyback one thing that Legislator Grimm mentioned, which is all the great work we've done towards some fiscal conservancy while balancing it with efficacy with our budget here. And one thing I'd like to say, since it's budget time, I think what would be, as a charter member of the Small Business Caucus, what I'd like to say is the next step that we can do for our constituents and taxpayers is talk about more effectively utilizing the money that we have in these budgets to better serve that constituency. An example that I could think of that would really go a long way is in looking at these vacant line items, these vacant employment line items that essentially pad a lot of these budgets. One thought that comes to mind after talking to a lot of people about this is the nursing home and all of the staff positions there that they struggle to fill. When we talk about quality of life for patients, we talk about, residents, we talk about quality of life for the employees. Let's try to work together this coming year to find ways to better utilize the money we have to get the right staff in these positions, pay them appropriately for the great work that they do to help make this a long-term success. And I'd like anybody who's willing to talk about that, invite them to work with me and all the other people who support that kind of initiative this coming year. Thank you.
Resolution 579, long roll call.
Beston.
Favor?
Bullock.
Yes.
Bergdorf.
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
Camiso.
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
Dawson.
Aye.
Demolowitz.
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
Ethier.
Yes.
Feeney.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes.
Graham.
Yes.
Higgins. Hogan.
Yes.
Andrew Joyce.
Yes.
Raymond Joyce.
Yes.
Lakakis.
Yes.
Lockhart.
Yes.
Mariello.
Yes.
Mayo.
Yes.
McKnight.
Yes.
McLean Lane.
Yes.
Mendick.
No.
Miller. O'Brien.
Yes.
Plotsky.
Yes.
Reinhardt.
Yes.
Signarachi.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Stevens.
Yes.
Touche.
Yes.
Tunney.
Yes.
Ward.
Yes.
Willingham.
Yes.
36 yes, 1 no.
Resolution 579 passes. Resolution 580, please.
Appropriation of amounts contained in the 2019 Albany County budget.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 580 passes. 581, please.
Public hearing on proposed local law number O for 2018.
All those in favor? Ms. Cunningham.
I'm pretty sure at our last meeting, Mr. Clay asked to be added as a co-sponsor, and he has not been, so can you correct me?
Yes.
Yes, we can. Apologize for that oversight. Made it. I'd like to send 581 to the Law Committee. Soon, Mr. Higgins, soon. Number 582, please.
Requesting the Albany County Comptroller and the Department of Management and Budget provide quarterly reports regarding the fiscal health of Albany County.
I would like to be added to this. Mr. Higgins, Mr. Clenahan, anybody else? Mr. Mayo, Mr. O'Brien, Mr. Feeney, Mr. Fine, Mr. Bullock, Mr. Joyce, Mr. Ethier, Mr. Grimm, Mr. Reinhardt, Mr. Preston.
How about everybody?
Does anybody not want to be added to this? It's part of the charter.
Mr. Chairman, can I be
Mr. Kraus.
I'm trying to determine whether or not, in asking for quarterly reports, we are asking to do more than I believe the state of New York does, because I believe they only do a mid-year report. So are we creating a lot of extra reporting here that may be unnecessary? I mean, it sounds good, but I'm not so sure if it's necessary.
The state of New York does quarterly updates. The comptroller does monthly updates.
Well, and that, so
State DOB.
I'm not sure if the update is the same, or if it's the same context as the mid-year report. So
It's
that's
county and
all.
state. I would imagine they'd be different.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else not want to be on this? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? 582 passes. Local law H for 2018. Mr. Clenahan?
Thank you, Chair. I will make this quick. It's been a long night. The reason I'm doing this, I'm asking your support, is that it's safe to say that thousands of animals die every year in hot cars and in cold cars with suffocation and heat stroke. Just some quick stats on that. An average car can go from 80 degrees to 112 degrees in less than 30 minutes, even with the window cracked. For an animal, even at a temperature of 71.6 degrees, the inside of a car can raise up to over 115 in just about a half an hour. It's incredible how quickly hot a car can get hot. And certainly here in the Northeast, how quickly a car can get cold in our conditions. So the reason I wanted to do this, and it's true that we had a more expansive law, and we heard some comments from the public and some organizations that suggest that we scale it back a little bit, and I thought those were valid. So we have a compromise scale back law before us tonight. But given the number of animals that suffer in this way and die in this way every year, fact is, the New York State law that applies to this to some degree really doesn't cover a lot of situations. So what we're doing tonight, we expand what New York State does in significant ways. New York State only covers police officers and peace officers who can actually rescue animals under the law. We would expand that to include firefighters, EMTs, local dog or animal control officers, veterinarians, and vet technicians. So the number of folks who can rescue an animal in particular distress is greatly increasing by law. Another thing that the state does is, for a violation of leaving an animal in a hot car in a dangerous situation, the fine is $50 for the first time. That's an incredibly undeterring fine. Our fine would increase this to $150 for a first offense, $300 for a second offense, and $500 for a third or subsequent offense. So the reality is, not only are we making this a more serious crime in Albany County, not only are we increasing the fine to truly deter this kind of conduct, we're increasing the number of people who can rescue an animal in a situation like this, so we can really avoid these tragedies in the first place. So with that in mind, I ask for everyone's support. Thank you.
Clerk, can you read local law H?
Local law number H for 2018. A local law of the County of Albany, New York to protect canines from enclosure and dangerously hot or cold vehicles.
Mr. Graham.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As a question from the sponsor, if we would be okay with that?
I would.
I appreciate what you're trying to do, Brian. Obviously, we all need to be protecting dogs, cats, whatever. But what would happen if the window was broken and the dog attacked the person who was breaking the window? Who would be liable under those circumstances?
The dog attacked the person.
Yeah. Because obviously it's a stranger breaking the window of the car.
I think it's a fair question. I think that's why the comments of folks in the Associated Dog Club of New York State were valid in terms of scaling this back from private citizens and neighborhoods. Under our proposed law that is right now, only rescue technicians, professionals, animal professionals, and veterinarians and vet technicians would be able to rescue animals. So these are the folks that are most able to control the situation from the animal and address that accordingly. So under the circumstances, I would say that we've got two ways that those folks are waived of liability. One, our local law itself would waive them from liability. Two, the existing state law waives police officers and peace officers from liability in those circumstances. The third way is the Good Samaritan law, which surely in a situation like this would cover anyone moving health animals.
I guess my point is, if the dog bit the person intervening, the owner be liable even though they've just broken into the person's car?
I think those who follow the same rule as any other situation where the animal control officer acts, and I assume that would differ depending on the animal control policies in each town or city. I can't see a situation that would be any different than what's already in place.
What if someone overreacts? Their judgment about whether it's the state of the animal was not a serious situation.
It's hard to see a situation where there would be no reaction. Those stats we gave, cars get hot incredibly quickly. The stat that I forgot to mention is that in a particular situation where these cars get hot, an animal can die in as soon as 6 minutes. And even less than that, an animal can suffer severe organ damage or brain damage. So the ability for overreaction is a very, very limited window. Things can go very badly very quickly for an animal. But again, I think that's one of the valid points that was raised by the Dog Club, New York State Association folks, in that let's leave this to professionals who know how to evaluate these situations, particularly animal professionals, so they can be in the best position to evaluate whether this is a real emergency or not. But again, we're talking minutes here. The difference between an emergency and a tragedy is very limited.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Long roll call, please.
Beston. Bullock. Bergdorf.
Aye.
Chapman. Cunningham.
Yes.
Camiso. Kraus.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
Dawson.
Yes.
Demolowitz.
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
Ethier.
Yes.
Feeney.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes.
Graham.
Yes.
Higgins. Hogan.
Yes.
Andrew Joyce.
Yes.
Raymond Joyce.
Yes.
Lakakis.
Yes.
Lockhart.
Yes.
Mariello.
Yes.
Mayo.
Yes.
McKnight.
Yes.
McLean Lane.
Yes.
Mendick.
Yes.
Miller. O'Brien.
Yes.
Plotsky. Reinhardt.
Yes.
Signarachi.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Stevens. Touche.
Yes.
Tunney.
Yes.
Ward.
Yes.
Willingham. Unanimous.
Local law H passes. Good work, Mr. Clanahan. Motion to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye. Good night, everyone. Thank you. Good job by Nicole Chambers tonight, filling in and wrangling all this. Cut my mic.